Welcome to Red Moon Anime. Today we're diving into Black Butler Season 5, Episode 1, The Chilling Return of Ciel and Sebastian. A deadly curse, mysterious werewolves, and a village hiding sinister secrets. This episode sets the stage for a dark and thrilling new arc. Let's get into it. The episode opens with two hunters in pursuit of several dogs that have wandered into a dense, foreboding forest. One of the hunters is visibly uneasy, recalling a disturbing rumor that the forest is cursed. Despite his reservations, his partner brushes off his concerns, dismissing them as nothing more than superstitions. Encouraged to ignore his fears, the apprehensive hunter reluctantly follows his companion deeper into the woods as they begin their search. After some time, they encounter an elderly woman who warns them of the curse that haunts the forest and urges them to turn back. Ignoring her ominous words, the hunters press on, venturing even further into the shadows of the trees. Soon their dogs begin barking frantically, and to their horror, a terrifying werewolf-like creature emerges from the underbrush. Panic sets in, and the hunters flee in terror, racing back to their castle as quickly as they can. However, upon their return, something far more sinister awaits them. The hunters begin to bleed out from an unknown cause, their bodies succumbing to an unnatural death. As if this wasn't horrifying enough, their faces are discovered to be grotesquely contorted and disfigured, adding an even darker layer to the mystery. The scene then shifts to the Phantom Hive Manor, where Ciel Phantom Hive is seen diligently studying German, with Sebastian Michaelis overseeing his lessons. Just as Ciel is engrossed in his studies, he receives a message from the Queen, directing him to investigate a series of mysterious deaths that have been occurring in Germany. Ciel, perplexed, wonders aloud why he must travel all the way to Germany, given that the Phantom Hive family's primary responsibility lies in managing the underground society in England. However, the Queen explains that she has numerous relatives in Germany and is concerned about the potential spread of an epidemic. She asks Ciel and Sebastian to investigate the deaths and determine if they are indeed caused by an outbreak. If it is, the Queen wants to ensure that medical aid can be dispatched without delay. She also mentions that neither the Kaiser nor the German government has given her a proper response to the situation. In his reply, Ciel calmly assures her that he had already intended to utilize the vast Phantom Hive information network to gather any necessary intelligence on the matter in Germany, so that they could proceed with the investigation. After that, Ciel and Sebastian meet with Klaus to discuss the matter. Klaus talks about his recent travels to Germany. After learning about the incident from Ciel, he went directly to the village and the mansion where the deaths had occurred. However, it didn't seem like the cause was an epidemic. Moreover, when Klaus asked the locals about the deaths, they said it was due to a witch's curse. In addition, all the victims had one thing in common. They had all visited the Werewolf's Forest, an occult forest regarded as taboo by the locals. However, Ciel Phantom Hive does not believe in witches or curses. Since there is no other information available, he decides to head to Germany and investigate the matter himself. Ciel and Sebastian arrive at the outskirts of Nuremberg, Germany. Ciel becomes visibly frustrated when a local man speaks to him in a southern dialect that he cannot understand. Unable to communicate, Ciel turns to Sebastian, who steps in as a mediator. The man refuses to accompany them into the forest, explaining that he has no intention of risking his life. He then describes the victims who ventured into the forest, revealing that they returned with faces swollen grotesquely, their skin bloated and discolored as if it were on the verge of melting. Additionally, the man recounts an eerie detail: a mysterious survivor who kept shouting warnings, claiming that black werewolves were coming. The focus then shifts to Ciel, who, after hearing all the unsettling information, decides that the only way to truly uncover the truth is to head straight into the forest and investigate the situation firsthand. However, when Ciel and Sebastian approach the man about using his carriage, he adamantly refuses, citing his fear of the forest's curse. Unwilling to back down, Sebastian swiftly resolves the issue by purchasing the carriage from the reluctant man. Meanwhile, the Phantom Hive servants, Finian, Baldroy, and Mayrin, remain behind at the manor, patiently waiting for their masters to return. With the carriage secured, Ciel, Sebastian, and the rest of the party set off toward the ominous werewolf's forest. As they venture deeper into the dense woods, an unsettling event occurs. Sebastian's compass needle begins to spin wildly and uncontrollably, as though thrown off course by some invisible force. Ciel, ever the pragmatic thinker, theorizes that the cause may be the presence of certain minerals buried deep within the earth, affecting the compass's natural function. Afterward, the conversation turns to witches. Ciel Phantom Hive shares his belief that witches are simply human beings who have been unjustly accused and condemned during trials. He finds it hard to believe that witches would truly have the power to curse others. However, Sebastian struggles to understand Ciel's perspective. He recalls an incident involving a Sabbath summoning, where a prepared individual could summon a demon by sacrificing their own soul. As the discussion continues, Ciel and the others stumble upon a village deep in the forest. The place is peculiar, well-maintained, yet eerily empty. Despite the presence of many houses, not a single one appears to be inhabited. At that moment, Finian calls out to see if anyone is around. To their surprise, a group of women suddenly emerges from the shadows, all wielding farming tools. They quickly surround the group, accusing them of being intruders. As Ciel observes the women, he becomes increasingly convinced that the village is exclusively inhabited by females. The villagers, suspicious of the strangers, immediately assume that the intruders must be after their lord. As a result, they decide to punish them with a death sentence. At that moment, the village's lord appears with her butler. She introduces herself as Sieglinde Sullivan, while the man accompanying her is Wolfram Gelzer. Wolfram, with a hostile demeanor, approaches Sebastian and demands to know where he has come from. Sieglinde quickly reprimands Wolfram for his rude behavior and offers an apology to the demon Butler on his behalf. However, when she lays eyes on Ciel Phantom Hive, she falls silent, her attention fixed on him. Wolfram, addressing the group, informs them that their village does not allow visitors and insists that they leave at once. He seems particularly taken aback by their arrival, especially since the village is supposedly protected by a werewolf. At this moment, Sieglinde quietly whispers something into Wolfram's ear. His demeanor shifts abruptly, and he then tells Ciel and his companions that they are welcome to stay the night in their castle. Ciel, Sebastian, and the Phantom Hive servants follow Sieglinde and her butler to the castle. As they make their way through the village, Ciel observes the unsettling atmosphere. There are various torture instruments scattered around, suggesting that something darker is at play. He grows increasingly suspicious that there may be occult activities happening in the village. The episode ends on this chilling note, with Ciel Phantom Hive and his companions standing on the threshold of the Emerald Castle, the unsettling mysteries of the village and the curse awaiting them within its walls. And that's a wrap on Black Butler Season 5, Episode 1. If you enjoyed this breakdown, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and share with your friends. Let's spread the Black Butler mystery far and wide. We've got more thrilling recaps and deep dives coming your way right here on Red Moon Anime, so don't forget to check out our other videos. Tap that notification bell so you never miss a single update. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.